Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I have a very special little guest here, my little baby Yoda. Yes, I'm a full ass adult and I'm obsessed with this little plush baby Yoda. So when I saw that ColourPop was coming out with their very own The Child palette with the Mandalorian, I of course had to get it. I'm gonna do some swatches and then I'm gonna do a fun little eye makeup look. I already did the rest of my makeup, so if you wanna see like a tutorial on this, let me know in the comments. It's mostly drugstore, so this is what the outside box looks like. It has an adorable little picture of Baby Yoda in this really cool artwork style. It says Star Wars The Mandalorian in the corner, and it is soft touch, so it feels really nice. And then on the back of the box, it just says The Mandalorian The Child palette and has all of the names. So the actual palette looks just like the box, super cute little Baby Yoda on it, and the back also has all of the shades and the palette name. This is what the palette looks like on the inside. It has a really nice size mirror up top, an adorable little picture of Baby Yoda, and then some beautiful green and brown toned eyeshadows. Let's get into the swatches. So the first shade I swatched for you guys is called Precious Cargo. It's a really pretty pearlescent kind of golden color. It's almost the same color as my skin tone, so it's kind of hard to see, but I'll sort of do like another little swatch for you to layer it. But it's really pretty. I feel like it would look gorgeous on the inner corner or right on the lid. So the next shade that I have right below it is called Right Hand Mando. It is a really pretty like metallic golden green. I really like it. So then right next to that is the shade called Just Like a Tatooine. I don't really understand the name, but it is like a really pretty shade, perfect for right in the crease, perfect for blending out any other funky colors. So the next shade is called Sipping Soup. It is also another greenish gold kind of metallic shade, but it has more green to it, and I feel like it's more metallic than it is glittery. But the next shade is called Baby Face. It is my favorite shade in the palette. It is just a matte green color, which it's like the exact color as Baby Yoda's little baby face, so I love the name. I will say this shade did swatch a little bit sparse. I kind of had to layer it a little bit to get like an opaque look. It always looks different on the eye than it does in swatches, so I will definitely keep that in mind. All right, so the shade right below Baby Face is called The Force. It is like a metallic-y golden copper brown color, which is so pretty. I feel like the name is perfect because it looks so just like glittery and magical. So of course The Force is the best name for it. And this one didn't also swatch super opaque the first time. You kind of have to build it, but it is good to keep in mind that it is a $16 eyeshadow palette. So the next shade right under The Force is called Little Frog. It's a really pretty khaki green color, and it's a matte, but it has little tiny sparkles in it, like itty bitty sparkles, which I like and I feel like I've never really seen before. I think this color is so beautiful and I would honestly wear it like every day. The next shade is a little bit darker and a little more of a gray green kind of color. It's called Float Your Crib. Again, I think it's just very neutral. It's nice. It's a great blending color, which is necessary in palettes where you have like funky colors. And the last shade is called Droid Protocol. It is just a warm tone dark brown. Perfect for popping right in that outer corner, or if you want to do a smoky eye, you could do it all over the lid. It's just one of those awesome blending colors. So yeah, there's the full palette swatched on my arm. Before I go in, I do want to say that a lot of the matte shades were a little patchy. Let's keep in mind it is a $16 eyeshadow palette by ColourPop. Their shadows are pretty good. Kind of like a collector's item, like if you like to collect makeup and eyeshadow palettes like I do, it's just a really awesome one to have in your collection. So I'm trying to think of what I want to go into first. I'm doing the Just Like a Tatooine. I'm gonna do that right in my crease and blend it up towards my brow bone. Tapping off the excess. I'm going in with mostly Morphe brushes. Morphe's like my go-to. Right in my crease. I think I want to do kind of like a cut crease moment because I want to layer all of these matte shades and then do a cut crease and kind of do like a ombre with the metallic shades. It has a nice big mirror, so it's really easy to look at. Okay, now that I have that in the crease, I'm gonna take another fluffier brush, and I think I'm gonna go in with Babyface first. And I'm just gonna blend Babyface over where I put like a Tatooine, because you want the lighter shades to be more up top near your brow bone, and then it get darker as it gets closer to your lash line. But I'm mainly keeping it in the crease. There is quite a bit of fallout from the matte shades just because they are super pigmented, so that's kind of the price you pay, but they seem to be blending smoothly so far. Oh, okay, she's lighter than I thought. Okay, all right, a little chalky. Okay, I might regret doing that. I don't know though. So I'm just going back and forth between each eye and just building it up. Still blending towards my brow bone. This is giving me very like 60s vibes, like the frosted pastel cut crease. I kind of like it. Okay, so I'm happy with how this looks for now. Next, I'm just gonna keep going darker in those matte shades in the crease. So the next darkest shade is Little Frog, so I'm gonna put that in my crease now. I'm taking a bit of a smaller brush, like this is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH33, and the one that I used before that was the Jaclyn Hill JH32, so it's a little fluffier, and now this one's gonna be a little bit smaller and a little denser to pack on a little bit more color. Ooh, that looks really pretty. I don't know if you can see it on camera yet. I might have to build it up a little bit more, but it's like a really pretty lime green kind of color. And as I'm blending it, I'm kind of pulling it out like this, so it whisks out a little bit, because that's kind of the look I'm going for. Ooh, okay, so you could tell from one, that just like made it really green and really pretty. So I'm just taking that brush that I used for Babyface and just blending out the top. It's gonna be a lot of going back and forth, making sure these colors are blended out really nicely. And I just like to take my powder brush and just dust away any fallout. Another good tip is to just do your eye makeup first, but for the purpose of the video, I wanted to do my face makeup first, just so you can kind of see what it looks like, or what it's gonna look like when you have your face makeup on. Right, so I'm gonna go back in with Little Frog and keep building that color. There we go. This is the color that I thought Babyface was gonna be, but I like how they mix together really nicely. Taking another small Morphe brush, a nice clean one, I'm going in with Flow Your Crib. That's that darker khaki color. And now this I'm really gonna try to keep just in the crease. Since we blended the other two up, it'll give a nice ombre. They're all coming up a lot more like cool toned on the skin, but that could also just be because of my skin tone. And just taking one of the other brushes, not adding any more product to it, I'm just gonna blend out. I'm adding a tiny bit more Little Frog right below the brow bone. So now taking an even smaller brush, I'm gonna go in with Droid Protocol, which is that dark brown shade, and I'm gonna do that in the crease too, really trying to just center that in the crease. And honestly, it's okay if your lid looks a little messy, because we're gonna put concealer over it, so it does not even matter. In order to do a good cut crease, you need either like a creamy base, something like a MAC Painterly Paint Pot, or like the P. Louise eyeshadow base, or a concealer. I'm taking my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer because I'm obsessed with it. So you need a concealer or an eyeshadow base, and then a flat brush with a rounded head. Get a good amount right on your brush. And then this is the important part. So put it right on the lid, right down there, like that, and then you're gonna look up. Relax your face and look up, because that's where your eye is naturally gonna crease. So see how it went all the way up there? I'm gonna get a little more product, fill in that space. I'm gonna add a little more like that. I'm gonna look up again. And then it kind of tells me exactly where to pat on the product. And I'm just gonna keep building it up more and more. So I'm gonna go about 3/4 of my lid because I want to keep it nice and smoky on the outside. You could always do a cut crease and flick it out if you wanted to. If you're like me and your eyes are 2 different shapes, then this might be a little bit tricky. Just hang in there. You really just want to try to get it as even as possible. It's not going to be perfect. I'm going to start with Precious Cargo, which is the lightest pearlescent shade right there. And I'm going to take my brush, pack on a good amount of product, and I'm just going to pat it right on where we put the concealer. Oh yeah, so you really need to dig in there and get as much pigment as you can. It is like a white golden shade, so it's not gonna show up super bright. It's mainly gonna be kind of the color of your concealer you use, but if your concealer is light enough, like me, then it should work fine. And you just wanna keep doing a couple layers. Next, I'm gonna go in with Right Hand Mando. That's that silvery shade right there. And I'm gonna do that at the center of my eye, more in the middle, blending it into that shade that we used in the corner. And this will just give us a nice ombre effect. And yeah, you're gonna get a decent amount of fallout. Probably a good idea to do your eye makeup first. So then I'm taking the color right here, Sipping Soup, and I'm doing that on the last little bit of concealer that we have left there. And so with these, you're really gonna have to pack on the product. Like, you kind of want to dig in there to get it. And as you can see, I'm bringing it over where we put that Right Hand Mando color right in the center, and layering them on top of each other. This really gives the illusion of like big, bright Baby Yoda eyes, which I love. Now I'm just gonna go back into those matte shades. I'm gonna take a little more of Little Frog. I'm just taking that on the brush that we used before and just going a little bit right back in the crease just to blend out the outer half of the crease a little bit better, just because it was a little sharp for my liking. I'm taking that same small brush that we used for Droid Protocol earlier, and I'm going back in with that shade. Ew, don't look at my disgusting fingers. Going back in with that shade, I'm just putting it right on the outer corner of my face. And again, just blending it right into the Sipping Soup color. And again, I'm just taking one of the brushes I used earlier with no new product and just making sure everything is blended nicely. So I'm liking how the top lid looks. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna go down and do the bottom lid. I think I'm just gonna keep it pretty simple. I'm just gonna take Little Frog. It's I think my favorite shade in the whole palette. And taking it on the brush we used earlier, I'm just gonna kind of tilt my head down a little bit and just pop it right down there on that bottom lash line. I'm noticing, I don't know if it's just me and I like didn't blend it right or I didn't use the right brush, the Droid Protocol color is kind of like fading. So I'm just gonna take again that small brush and that color. I'm just gonna go back in here to kind of bring it back because I don't know where it went. And it's also not as dark as I thought it was gonna be, which is totally fine. Yeah, I'm keeping the bottom lash line nice and dark and smoky and simple. Next, I'm just gonna take a little tiny fat brush like this. I'm gonna go into Precious Cargo, which is that white shade. And I'm gonna highlight right on the inner corner. And I'm also going right below the brow bone. This kind of helps to just bring everything together and it adds a little bit of extra sparkle. Okay, so I'm done with the eyeshadow look. I'm just gonna touch up my face, throw on some lashes and some lipstick, and I'll be right back. All right, so this is the final look. I am obsessed with how it turned out. I think the eyeshadows are really, really nice. I love the colors. What do you think, Baby Yoda? Okay, he says it's worth it, so it's worth it. I think the palette is so cute. The colors are really, really fun. And I just think it's a cute novelty eyeshadow palette to have. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know down below what other videos you want to see from me. So I will see you next time. Bye.